welcome to Midweek Memo 4. This is our fourth Midweek Memo, and I have absolutely loved all the discussions that we're having. Today, I want to encourage you to think a little bit more deeply, more in depth about the parable of the prodigal son. That is found in Luke 15, 11 through 32, and if you haven't read it yet, check it out. It's one of my favorite parables. And the question is, for this week, what do you believe is the main theme that Jesus communicates? Explain three different characters, three principal characters. Who do you identify with the most and why? Now, in thinking about what the theme is of this parable, I like to listen to what other scholars have to say and what people who are doing the research more in depth and have time to do the research are finding out about the parables. So I go to different resources. One of those books, one of my favorite books, is Stories with Intent, a comprehensive guide to the parables. And the author, Klein Snodgrass, a scholarly name if I ever heard one, is asking readers to say what are the purposes of this parable instead of the purpose. He believes that there are three primary purposes for this particular parable. The first is to emphasize the compassion of God. The second is to invite people to celebrate and rejoice. The third is to act as a defense of Jesus' association with sinners. Now, he says that the parable, with its incomplete ending, have you ever thought of how it kind of just ends abruptly? It's actually an invitation here to take the same attitude as the father toward the prodigal. What I love about this perspective is that he actually prefers to title this parable The Compassionate Father and His Two Sons. Having this perspective reminds us that both sons are lost. Nobody is higher or more important than anyone else. In essence, all have sinned and are in need of God's grace and compassion. So when thinking about this parable, also take into mind the context of the passage. Who is Jesus speaking to? Who is his audience? Who is maybe on the periphery of his audience who's listening in? And what is this context, the Middle East? What was it like back then and there? So I hope this gives you something to think on and consider. I want you to know that I'm praying for you and cheering you on. And thank you so much for checking out my midweek memo. Have a wonderful week and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.